Right guys, it's another wet and rainy day, but we've got to get stuck in, we've got things to do, so welcome back to the channel. Right then guys, so this week, or at least right now, we're going to get stuck into, I've got my list of things to do. So basically I'm going to be doing rewiring and electrical stuff. What I want to get completed before my turbo arrives is I want to get the Haldex controlled by the EMU. So wire that in. It's actually not as hard as I thought it was going to be. It's going to involve swapping a couple of pins on the plug-in. So basically getting the AC switch to something else and using what the AC was on originally, because that's an 8 bridge and it doesn't need to be. So getting that done. I'm also going to be fitting two, I don't know what to even call them. They're basically fan controllers. So basically what they do is they, with a PWM signal, they step down voltage from 12 to whatever depending on the PWM. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to be running 2 of those modules, one to each pump, each fuel pump I should say, and what that should do is like an idle and off boost, and when I'm driving around normally they can run the pumps at like, you know, half speed or even less or whatever. It'll make it a lot quieter and it'll consume less power, because I mean that's always a good thing, you know, consume a bit less power, have a bit less left over, won't work the alternator as hard, won't get the fuel as hot. Now that's another thing. So it'll allow the fuel to cool down more, it'll allow the pumps to cool down more. So I'm going to get that done. That's also going to be pretty easy to wire in. And then I can switch from the conventional setup that I got now that is controlling the pumps, which is just 2 relays. I'm going to switch the pump through one of those. Yeah, I'm going to repurpose it basically, and then run to the front. That little switch I got in the front is going to now go from a 3 position to a 2 position switch. So one's going to be on for all-wheel drive on, letting the Haldex be controlled by the EMU, and then off is going to be basically off. It's going to turn the pump and it's going to turn the solenoid off. Yeah, so that's enough waffling. I guess we jump in and I'll show you what I got to do. Okay guys, welcome back to the completely stacked garage. I can barely find a place to do anything, so I'm on top of this tool case here. But basically this is going to be a pretty easy job, this part of it. So I'm going to do this bit first. So all I'm doing, looking on here, and I've got to swap a couple of pins on the grey plug. So between the ECU and the plug and play, basically what that effectively does is just changes where things are coming on the outside onto the normal, you know, wiring. As you can see, I've already got a couple of plugs modified on here: oil sensor, EGT, and flex fuel. So those 3 are probably, so my car's a bit of a development car at the moment, so I consider this a hidden non-nicety sort of thing. So basically when I am happy with how this is all going and how the car's all being controlled and everything, I will probably redo this with like 2 4 pins instead of because I'm going to need now another single, but obviously I'm going to put the female on the other side so you can't mix them up, but I'm needing another single line going to the Haldex. So it's getting a bit of a mess, but this is basically the idea. So I'm going to pull this out, pick it out, swap the 2 around, and yeah, fingers crossed that it works. Pretty sure it will. Just need some changes in the software, and then that will mean my aircon's running off a different one, and I got a free H-bridge connection for the Haldex. Right guys, so I'm finished up here on my ECU. There's the Haldex wire there added and labeled up. Now all that's left for that is to run a line from that to the Haldex. But the delivery gods blessed me today with the new turbo. So just got them out here. I was just comparing them myself, just like the outside diameters and stuff. You can see this is, so it's got a bigger compressor wheel because it's the next size up. So as you can see, it's actually a fatter, it sits higher. So there's not going to be too much difference. Essentially, this is the same size as that width-wise and not heart-wise it's slightly different, as you can see, but my turbo blanket will fit on it. But where you're going to see that even the excuse me, even the front covers are pretty much the same, except for this got 2.5 inch out, this had a 2 inch out, which I've stepped up to 2.5 inch to my hard boost pipe stuff. But where you are going to see the difference is on the inside of these. So this turbo here, the turbo wheel sizes was a 52-55, so 52 intake, 55 extruder or whatever on the exhaust side. This here is a 62-62, so it's got a 62 and a 62, so you can tell it's bigger both sides. I haven't really compared, but you can probably see a difference here. Let's have a quick look. So if I compare those two, yeah, you can see the difference there. So that's a bit bigger than that one. And then if I can do this one-handed, spin these over. Let's have a quick go at this. So that's that on that side. That one on that side. So here you're going to see a much bigger difference. And you can see the size of that compared to the size of that. So that's probably the next thing I'm going to do. Get this thing on the car. Right, so here we are in the front. So basically I've just tucked all the wires and everything, well, all the tubes and everything out the way, get everything out the way. So basically what I need to do is I need to sit the turbo in here and just make sure, because it is slightly different dimensions, just make sure everything meets up, everything is nice and flat, make sure all the V-bands all fit and everything. So I'm going to get you in there and do that now, because I'm excited to get it in here. I've still got all that wiring and stuff to finish in the back, but I want to do this, so let's have a look. Right, so as I said, we're just going to get this thing situated, make sure things like the brackets and stuff all fit. So fingers crossed. So there we go, all fits, it's got clearance. Obviously I just dropped the fucking nut for that, so that's down there somewhere, got to dig that out. Looks like it'll go under. Yeah, I think we're looking good. Alright, so we're up in the back here. I've pulled out my old manual Haldex controller. I'm going to reuse that wiring there, because one of them runs to the solenoid and the other two run up to the switch up front, which I'm going to make a new switch in there that controls the ground for the solenoid and the pump, so I can switch them both off. But basically I've got to strip out all of this and all of this, and then pull out my strut brace to get this at the bottom to get to all the grounds that are underneath. I'll show you, they're all underneath there. I can't get this up with the strut brace in it, so it's all stuck. So fun times. I'm going to start digging into that. I'm also going to leave this sort of section stripped out, because behind here is where I'm going to be mounting the fuel pump controllers. So you're not going to be able to see anything here. I'm going to repurpose the wire, which does go to relays and stuff in here. I'm going to repurpose those relays. Well, one of them I'm going to just remove the other one, repurpose the power feed from them, which is coming from the battery, and yeah, get them into there. So it's going to be some fun times digging out all of this crap. It takes an age and it's actually thankless work, so I guess let me get stuck in. Right guys, another quick update here. As you can see, stripped this whole end away, stripped all the bottom out, stripped the strut brace out and stuff, and I've gotten down to all the wires. So basically I have sorted out the two ground wires. I've repurposed the harness that I made before. Got this one is to the pump, so I'm going to put that one in to one of my fuses in my fuse box. I'm going to take the 2 pumps out of there, blah 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 blah, like I explained earlier. Stick the 2 variable fuel control module things over there, but I've got to wait for a load of stuff to come. I haven't got much stuff to do yet besides there's another wire that I'm going to run around to connect to there. It's already through the firewall, and then I need to put a connector on to go into the EMU, and then that's about it. So I guess hopefully we get a delivery or something sort of soonish. Otherwise, picking my nose is not going to be much I can do here. Alright guys, so unfortunately no more deliveries have come, so I can't really soldier on any further with anything. I've got one more wire to run and a couple of things to do, but we can catch up on that in the next time. So the next video we're going to get that new turbo fitted. We're going to do a sneaky connection because I'm waiting for some information on some new parts, soon to be seen. But yeah, that's about it for now, so I'm going to have to call it here. But once again, thanks for joining me on this journey, thanks for coming along for the ride, and share it around, like, share, subscribe, you know the deal, and I will see you in the next one.